Hello friends, welcome to the channel Sanchita. I am Tanmay De from Chandannagar. This is my 25th dictation and I really want to thank all of you for your support. Through comments, you can suggest, criticize or appreciate my work, which will help me to do better. Thank you all. Keep supporting me like this. Now you must be bored and thinking about the dictation. This is an editorial passage from the Hindu. But keep focused. As you saw in thumbnail, this passage is a kind of law journal. Total words 872. Speed will be 80 words per minute. After the dictation, as you know, you will get important words outline and full passage. Now be ready. I will start my dictation after the countdown of 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy dropped a bomb last week when he wrote to the Chief Justice of India (CJI) accusing a sitting judge of the Supreme Court of judicial impropriety and corruption and state high court judges of bias. The latter refers to the purchase of agricultural land in the area to be declared as the capital city of Andhra Pradesh. Between the time when Chandrababu Naidu became Chief Minister in 2014 and the time when he announced the demarcation of the new capital at Amravati. The charge is that the land was purchased by persons including the Supreme Court judges' daughters and in-laws named subsequently in an FIR after declaration of the capital area limits at the same low price of the lands which existed before the demarcation, when in fact the market prices had skyrocketed, thereby causing huge pecuniary gain to them. In this connection, in March, the Principal Secretary Home Andhra Pradesh government wrote the Secretary of the Union Ministry of Public Grievances and Pensions seeking a CBI inquiry into the findings of a cabinet subcommittee set up to investigate charges of corrupt dealings in land purchases. The subcommittee had opined that public servants at the helm of affairs in the erstwhile government misused and abused their official position to predetermine the location of the new capital, subsequently purchased lands to unjustly and illegally benefit their associates and their companies and businesses, family members and political party members. Decode. Mr. Reddy accused the Supreme Court judge of influencing the allocation of benches at the state high court his parent high court to hear politically sensitive cases. This, he wrote, led to the passing of a string of orders staying a number of investigations of corruption against the Naidu government. One of the cases of later cites to show that the High Court is favoring Mr. Naidu is an extraordinary order passed late one evening by the Chief Justice of the High Court staying all investigations into the FIR involving this land scam, which mentions the relatives of the Supreme Court judge as well as a former Advocate General as beneficiaries. The Chief Justice also used an unprecedented gag order on the media from reporting the contents of the FIR. The latter also mentions the High Court's recent order of an inquiry into a private conversation between a retired judge of the High Court and a district judge within bracket under suspension bracket close. In the conversation, the retired judge is heard mentioning his knowledge about the corruption and his Supreme Court judge and asking the district judge if he has more information in this regard. The district judge then surprisingly files an application in a pending writ within bracket seeking an investigation into the death of a backward class registrar of the High Court due to alleged violations of COVID-19 guidelines at the High Court bracket close, bringing on record this telephone conversation which he had secretly recorded. This unrelated conversation filed in an intervention which was not even allowed and which has nothing to do with the prayers in the main writ is then made the basis for ordering an inquiry into what the High Court terms within double quote designing a plot against the Honorable Chief Justice of High Court of Andhra Pradesh and another sitting judge of the Supreme Court, decode. This is rather extraordinary order, especially considering that much of the conversation contained information on the Supreme Court judge already in the public domain and does not make out any plot or conspiracy against a judge or the judiciary to warrant such an inquiry. With these developments, two questions have arisen. One, whether such a letter oblique complaint against the Supreme Court judge should have been put out in the public domain, and two, what the CGI's response should be. In 1997, judges adopted an in-house procedure for inquiring into such charges. In case of a complaint against a Supreme Court judge, the CGI is expected to order an inquiry by 3 sitting judges of the Supreme Court. Though in C. Ravichandran Iyer versus Justice A. M. Bhattacharya within bracket 1995 bracket close, the court held that such complaints should be kept confidential, the unfortunate reality is that the judiciary tends to try and brush complaints of corruption against judges under the carpet. Sometimes, if the public becomes aware of such complaints, the CGI is compelled to order an inquiry. But we have often seen that even credible complaints against judges made confidentially to the CGI are ignored. The same is seen in attempts to impeach a judge. I have found that at least two conditions must be satisfied before a sufficient number of MPs are willing to sign an impeachment motion against a judge. These should be solid documentary evidence of corruption, and it should have become a public scandal. In the absence of the second condition, that the complaint should be kept confidential, is only likely to lead to more serious complaints being shelved. In any case, as the court has held, sunlight is the best disinfectant, and there is no reason why such complaints, even if made against senior sitting judges, should not be put out in the public domain. The view that this would scandalize the court is archaic and has been discarded in most progressive democracies. Stop writing. Now try to read it back and then do transcription. Now the important words outline. This is part 1. This is part 2. Now the full passage. This is part 1. This is part 2. This is part 3. And this is final part. Thanks very much